Hi guys, welcome back to Golden Reviewer. So here I have the latest Galaxy S23. I've tested the S23 Ultra, but I know many of you are actually looking at the S23 Plus and the S23 base model. So here I have it and I'll test it for you. Before we get to the actual game benchmark, let's take a look at the settings. So apparently I've disabled the GOS in this labs option, and I also downloaded the game plugins so to enable 100% resolution and also enable the high performance mode in games. So for the graphics settings, everything set to highest, 60 FPS enabled. So this is consistent with all our flagship tests. Room temperature is set to a comfortable 25 degrees, which is also consistent. And just on a side note, for all my previous recordings, I did it with the iPhone 13 Pro Max or iPhone 14 Pro Max. And this is the first time that I use a Samsung device, which is the S23 Ultra, to record my test. And to be honest, I'm pretty happy with the result. I have nothing to complain about the video quality. I think it's just as good as, if not better than, the iPhone 14 Pro Max video recording. Okay, back to our topic. We'll run the game for about 10 minutes, following our usual route in the Inazuma region. And at the end of the test, I'll measure the temperature and show you the FPS and power consumption. Okay, so let's go.
工作室。我来保护大家。御风而行，朔风解印。
拒收并蓄。
闲人勿扰。
送上门的声音，物若金汤。
该走攻击了。
往返自然。云影，夜明雨，还是御风而行。
工作室。婆婆，再给我讲个试试吧。
送上门的生意。往返自然，克。
安如磐石。
禁止接触。
头了，扔这招，还是朔风解印，撤。头了，
闲人勿扰。
御风而行，撤。
拒收并蓄。
我会跟上的。下一项工作室。日莲王地基。
可看落叶飘零。该出发了。嘿，
固若金汤。
有大家在身边。
朔风解印。
我会跟上的。
安如磐石。天动万象。
哦，该等攻击了。
云野，夜明。
固若金汤。
下一项工作室。
Alright guys, so that's 10 minutes of gaming. Let's measure the device temperature. Here we find the hottest spot on the back of the device is near the cameras and is at 43.3 degrees. This is very similar to what we got from the S23 Ultra, so it seems that they have the same temperature control, thermal control or throttling policy. For the performance, it's also extremely similar to what we got on the S23 Ultra. Actually, I was expecting it to perform a little bit worse because I figured that the smaller body might not be good for heat dissipation. However, we got 55.1, and it's also exactly after 3 minutes we see some significant throttling and the FPS started to drop. So all these behaviors and numbers was very similar to what we got from the S23 Ultra. As for power consumption, it actually performs better than the S23 Ultra at 5.7 watt of power used on average, where for the S23 Ultra, it used on average 6.4 watts. Okay, they have the same chip, the same operating system, the same internals, everything. I suppose they should be similar on this regard as well. So I think there should be some rooms for improvement or optimization, at least for the S23 Ultra, and it should be able to perform a little bit better in the future. With that being said, here is the final result put into our table, and you can see how similarly they perform, right, for the S23 and S23 Ultra. So if you are worrying about the heat dissipation, the gaming performance, the sustained performance of the S23, maybe you don't really need to worry too much about it. From my testing, it just performs as well as its bigger siblings. And honestly, that's a nice surprise from Samsung. We don't have to take too much of a compromise if we opt for the smaller device, which is pretty nice. Okay guys, so that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Thank you.